Hello and welcome back to Football Manager, and we've now made it to the Builder Base FA Trophy third round. As you were aware in the last video, we did lose to Gillingham, but following that, we've been on a brilliant run of four, including 5 straight wins. Now, of course, that's nothing compared to an FA Cup run, of course, but we didn't do badly. We obviously, as you saw, lost on penalties against a League One opposition. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. I can't see a problem with what happened in that game. Yes, of course, I would have been delighted at beating them, but we held them 0-0 away from home, and at home we scored twice. We nearly got through it, but we just fell at the last hurdle. And to be fair, we did far better than I thought we were going to do against Gillingham. I thought we were going to be demolished 3 or 4 goals to nil, but we held our own. So now we're playing at Solihull Moors in today's video in the FA Trophy, a competition that we actually have to do quite well in. We have to reach the semi-final. Now again, this is preferred. As I said at the start of this season, I don't think if I fail this, I'll be sacked. I don't think that's going to happen. For one thing, I've got a new contract again. Signed last month for a 2-year extension, so by no means am I at risk of sacking at the moment. But in saying that, if I fail to win promotion at this point, being 9 points clear of Solihull Moors, who are actually beneath us by only 1 place, I could see a problem occurring there. But that's all in the future. We've got 22 games left to play, I believe, in the league. So a maximum of 66 points could still be won by any team. But if you still get the league, only 1 defeat has befallen my Halifax team this season. 3 wins, more than Solihull Moors have got. Far better goal scoring capabilities. We are a very strong side. Now, an important bit of news: Umar Traore is still out of contract at the end of this season, and he's technically League 2 calibre player, which means should we succeed in signing him next season, when he runs out of contract, he would be the best striker at the club, even including the lone strikers we got in this season, which is Gacha, who I actually looked up on Google Translate, went onto the Albanian language, typed in his name, and it came up with like Gacha or Gaka or something like that. So that's his name, Noah Gaia. He's admittedly done fairly well in recent games. O'Neill has not been playing well in recent games. As such, he's on the bench today. He's not even in the first team today. But scoring 15 goals in 21 appearances in the league, that's impressive by any stretch. I can't deny that fact. I mean, it's the first time he's got a goal in 2 years, so it's not bad, for one thing, either way. So he could do quite well with us still, and I believe he's not out of contract, so we can't actually properly sign him. We were looking at signing this player, James Penrice, who, according to Coach Report, is actually a good player for the National League, would be equal to Terenzi in terms of current ability and potential, but he wants far too much money, and as such, we can't afford him. Simple as that, really. And that is really unfortunate, because he was looking like a good player who could be used for a number of seasons ahead. But either way, let's head into today's fixture against Solihull Moors, and just try and go through and win. Simple as that, really, I think. Apparently Earring's a better vice captain than Matt Jones, but I don't really care. I mean, to me, in this game, captaincy doesn't really seem to change anything, I don't think. Like who's captain, who's vice captain, that sort of thing. I don't actually think it changes anything really from what I've seen. But looking at this team, Paris Magoma is the only one really I'd want to be captain of this side. So I'm going to put him in as the 4th choice stand-in, because he's the only one actually in the team. I mean, he's the only one that's been here for more than one season, so it would make sense for him to be the backup captain for today's game. So let's go into today's game. Apparently we've got, new goalkeeper. Marcin Brzozowski, or Brzozowski. Not quite sure how to pronounce his name. He's a new Polish goalkeeper. Signed on a free contract, obviously. Formerly of Hibernian, but never played for them, unfortunately. But we technically signed him on a free from QPR, because that's where he was contracted to. But nothing to note really. No major performances anywhere, I don't think. On loan at Hibernian last season for the second half of it, but never played a game for them. Most recent game he played was for Billericay in the National League South. So yeah, nothing to worry about, I don't think, really, at this point, in terms of problematic players. So it's all fine, I think. It's all fine. He's definitely a better goalkeeper than Jones, at least. That's one thing to be sure. And I think Civita is improving as well. I think he's gone above Jones as well in terms of his ability. So hopefully he'll be able to use that in the near future. So, for today's game, Solihull Moors have captain in goal Ryan Boot, with Cameron Cox, Cliff Moyo, Jordan Piggott, Ryan Burke, Igli Kaya, James Ball, Callum Maycock, Jordan Cranston, Adam Rooney and Matty Stevens, whilst on the bench Niall Clayton, Mitch Hancocks, Justin Donowa, Isaac Davies and Josh Smile, whilst Halifax, us of course, have in goal Marcin Brzozowski, at right back Daniel Oyegoki, centre back Alex Kirk and Elkan Baggett, left back Oscar Terenzi, with captain today Paris Magoma in the midfield with another new signing, Francis Vincent, who hasn't played well in his first few games, I don't think. But in saying that, he got an assist on his debut, so it hand in hand really. At right wing we have Eddie Carrington, centre attacking midfield we have Max Robson, left wing we have Leo Gatcha, and attacking as striker we have Ryan Hillier, whilst on the bench we have Tyrone O'Neill, George Nugent, Oddie Alpha, Niall Mayer and Tom Bradbury, with Colin Lima as referee. So let's pump fists, and let's say, great opportunity to show the pundits they've been right to back us up. So let's try and get a win, obviously, as you try and do every game, of course. But yeah, this is a game that if we were to win would put us on a lot of momentum for the remainder of the season, because it might shake up Solihull Moors to the extent that they won't be able to recover themselves and they'll fall down the league a little bit and give us a bit more breathing room. But according to the game so far, they've had 3 shots in 25 minutes, we've had 0. That is a worry. We've just had our first shot then, but this is not good for Halifax. Throw-in from Solihull Moors into the box to Rooney, who gets a shot away, thankfully wide of the post. Terenzi, and I believe that was Baggett on the left with him, did terribly in defence. Ball out by the goalkeeper, but cleared back by Solihull Moors only as far as Oyegoki. Carrington now with the ball running down that right wing. Gets a tackle from Cranston, but it's very poor and the ball still ends up with Carrington, but it's cleared away. Oyegoki to Magoma now, to Vincent, forward to Gatcha, who shoots, but it's just wide as well. After 35 minutes, 2 highlights back to back, end in 2 shots put just wide. Goal kick from Boot, headed forward by Terenzi. Gatcha now chasing it to the edge of the box, crosses it in for Hillier, who tried, I'm assuming, to chest it down and then play a ball back in, but he was closed down too quickly and ends up with a corner kick. Magoma swings in the corner, but it's headed away by Solihull Moors, and they now have the ball, but thankfully it's the end of the highlight. And after 45 minutes, it's all over for the half-time. 0-0. That is very, very frustrating, because we should be, at least theoretically, one of us should have scored by now. I'm actually going to bring off, where is he? There he is, Alex Kirk. I'm going to bring him off because he's lacking in terms of condition, which is not good for a centre-back. And that may be probably the worst signal I could have made. You know, he might have been doing really well in defence and keeping us from going behind, but I think it's deserving to come off at this point in time. Cox throws the ball in, but Oyagoki clears it brilliantly all the way to Hillier up front. Now looking to get a ball along that right wing. Stops just shy of the tackle, crosses the ball in, and Leo Gatcher, with a beautifully struck effort, thunders into that top corner of the goal and gives Halifax Town a perfect 1-0 lead. A beautiful stop by Hillier just short of the tackle, and a pitch perfect cross to Gatcher, which he struck beautifully with his right boot into that top corner. And Solihull Moors 0, Halifax Town 1. And we now appear to be controlling this match far more. And Robson has been injured. So I'm going to bring on Tyrone O'Neill for him, who's going to play as a shadow striker, because he's the only player really I want to be bringing on or swapping positions with a attacking midfielder. I think Leo Gatcher works well on that left wing, and I think that's probably the best option for him. Throw in for Halifax. Terenzi looking for, I believe, a long throw. Does get a beautiful throw into the box. Baggett to O'Neill to Hillier, but he's offside. That's unfortunate. It was a well worked effort, but I think O'Neill probably should have actually had a go himself rather than passing it. It might have actually been more successful. But 70 minutes down, still 1-0 to Halifax. And I think at this point, my third and final change, yeah, I think so. I'm going to bring on Oddie Alpha for Eddie Carrington. He's not been playing well today. He's got a yellow card, and I think condition-wise he's slowly deteriorating, and he should be coming off. But with just 5 minutes left to play, we are still in control of this match, and, spoke too soon there. Boot with a goal kick over the top for Solihull Moors, headed forward by Oyagoki to Alpha, back to Oyagoki over the top looking for Hillier. It does reach him because of a poor clearance header by Solihull Moors. Gatcher now with the ball, tackled by Smile, and Baggett thankfully heading the ball clear again to Oyagoki to Alpha now. Alpha getting to the edge of the box to Hillier, who shoots, and the ball loops over the diving goalkeeper, and Halifax Town have won this match. Halifax Town 2, Solihull Moors 0. But it was a well-worked pass by Alpha, getting Hillier in there, looping that shot over the goalkeeper's outstretched arm, and it was very well struck effort. Hillier with another goal this season. And as I mentioned, I think Halifax Town have won this game now. 5 minutes stoppage time, all now gone. Halifax Town 2, Solihull Moors 0. Very, very pleased with how they played in that game, especially post half time. And I think they deserved that win. I definitely do. Because by far they were the better team, at least to me. Now, of course, you might say biased. But to that, I just say, of course. Well, of course I'm biased. If you don't think your team is the better team, then something has gone wrong. I mean, granted, your team could be the worst team in a match, and you could acknowledge it, but you would have to acknowledge that you've done something wrong for that team. If you then say, oh, my team was the better team, we just got unlucky, then you're not calling your own calibre of capabilities into question. Brazil keeps clean sheet on his debut. Very good debut for him as well. He did very well, keeping us 0-0 till half time before getting the winners we did. A good £6,000 prize money there for the club. Very nice. And Ryan Hillier, very happy. This is a worry. Robson out with an ankle ligament injury for up to a month and a half is going to hamper his performances. He is currently a League 2 level player, potential League 1 player. I do want to see him reach that with this club because it's going to be helpful, obviously, for him and for the club, of course, to see him reach his potential. But as you can see here, not quite as high numbers as I was hoping. I was hoping that would be double digits by now, and this would be at least 4 or 5 by now, but it's not a lot I can do about it, unfortunately. He is doing as well as he can do, and to be fair, he's doing very well for a player in his situation, which is as a lone attacking midfielder without much support to his right or left, as they're both supposed to be supporting the striker. But we have now reached an A rating, and I'm very, very happy about that. Let's quickly have a look at the FA Trophy. I don't know, I didn't do schedule, but FA Trophy 4th round is to be drawn on the 13th, so in 2 days. So I'll just click through until we get to that, and yeah. So apparently some trials are finishing up. They're useless trials, none of them were ever had a chance of signing for us. And here is our youth intake preview actually, and we have a top prospect in the centre of midfield, and 2 fine prospect forwards. Unfortunately, according to this, shouldn't expect much. That's a worry. And as I mentioned, Matt Jones is leaving the club actually. I did say that he was probably no longer as good as Adam Civita, and he's left the club to go to Cheltenham Town for £1,500. He was never really going to get much game time, I don't think that's the problem, and as such, he leaves. But we are still obviously just scrolling till we get to the FA Trophy 4th round draw, which I might as well show on camera as it's so close to the previous game, but this game likes loading very slowly when I record it, so whether we actually do get a chance to do so is another question. William Tomlinson has now fully recovered from his injury. He won't be playing yet, obviously. He's still, too fragile at the moment to be playing. So I'll probably actually have him available until match fit in the under 18s, just to get him back to a level that's going to see him playing regular football again. So we can then put Paris Maghoma up front in the attacking midfield role if need be. Oh, Steve Bruce sacked by Newcastle. That's harsh. That's real harsh. But hopefully we actually get to see the FA Trophy draw. Here we go. So these trials are finished, that's all fine. And the Builder-Base FA Trophy 4th round draw. So Chesterfield or Harrogate are to face Havant and Waterlooville. Truro City will be playing Kettering Town or Kings Lynn Town. Any fan of Laluja will be looking on that one with bated breath. Boreham Wood are to face Carl Sholton. Bath City are to face Fylde or Bradford PA. Altrincham are to face us, Halifax Town. Yeovil Town are to face Chorley. Enfield Town are to face Brackley Town or Chelmsford City. Gainsborough Trinity are to face Billericay Town. Woking are to face Guiseley, or Guiseley, however you pronounce it. Hartlepool are to face Welling United. Hereford or Curzon Ashton are to face Boston United. Torquay United or Great Wakering are to face Bromley. Wrexham are to face Barnet. Dulwich Hamlet are to face Southport. Kingstonians are to face Kidderminster Harriers. And Eastleigh or Potters Bar are to face Alfreton Town. So I'd say that's an easy opposition, I must admit. I mean, I'm going to arrange extra time, so I don't like doing the replays. It just adds an extra game that we don't need. And Altrincham are not doing well this season. Admittedly, they're doing better than they could be doing, as you can see here. Frequent relegations and promotions and the like, it's going to be difficult for them. But they're not doing anywhere near as good as they could be doing for Altrincham, given that they are, I believe, affiliated with Manchester United. Oh, they're no longer affiliated to Manchester United. I wonder when they lost that affiliate. Because back in FM11, I should say, they were a affiliate of Manchester United, and as such, they received huge amounts of money in that game. And it was not uncommon to see them rising up from the National League all the way up to Championship in like a decade and a bit, if that, because of how much money they were given by Manchester United. But anyway, before we face Dulwich Hamlet in the next video, which will be at 5 o'clock today, I bid thee adieu and goodbye.